Hey, welcome back. Let's do a tour of my cigar journal and we'll look at my humidor, do a humidor tour. This is my next cigar and I have to admit I bought it for the band. But they do get good reviews online. This is the my father's cigar. This is a Flor de las Antillas. This is a Toro. And gosh, look at how well this thing is wrapped. Of course, it came in cellophane, and it's got a little ribbon around the end there at the foot. Not seen that very often. But look at just how beautiful that is. The artwork. So let's hope the cigar is as good as the artwork. So I'm keeping my cigar journal in this Traveler's Company notebook. This is the kind of the standard size. And I've got a cigar and pipe tobacco journal, a whiskey journal, which I am currently sampling some bourbons. And also I've got my book list in here as well. And I've got one for pens and inks. But today let's just focus on cigars. In another video, I showed these flavor wheels. I downloaded this one off of Holt's Cigar. They are a really good online supply for cigars and things like that. I recently bought some from JR Cigars. I've bought a lot of stuff from JR Cigars. And JR Cigars used to have stores in North Carolina that you could go to, and probably other states too. But I think all their brick and mortar stores have closed down, so I think they're just a online store now. Unless I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, because I really enjoyed going to those stores. And this is, Flavor Wheel is just a kind of a way for newbies like me to, or people that aren't very expressive, also me, to kind of a cheat sheet for, you know, what flavors we're picking up, what notes we're picking up. Pretty handy. And we'll go through all the cigars. CO flatheads. Now we're crazy about that. And it may have just been a one-off. I bought it in a humidor that was, you know, a walk-in humidor in a cigar store. And it may not have been well kept. It was a very strong compost manure smell to the cigar, even before I lit it. But after I lit it, you know, it's earthy, pretty pleasant, but it just wasn't my favorite. The wrapper started to come apart, so I think it hadn't been kept very well. So I'll give CAO Flatheads a pass on that one, and I'll try another one a little later. Macanudos, love Macanudos. This is the Hampton Court. Really good. It's very smooth, pretty good aftertaste. Arturo Fuente, I've had two of those so far, the Gran Reserva, and I think they're my favorite so far. This is a Leomora de Cuba, Mi Amor, also very nutty and coffee. I've been getting into more Connecticut shade wrappers and smoother cigars. I've kind of moved away from the darker, more full-bodied cigars, and I just like a real smooth, easygoing cigar. Romeo and Julieta, I've had several of those. I think this is my first foil that I've tried. It was okay. I think it's more of an everyday cigar, not something I would spend a whole lot of money on. I was really surprised by a nub. This is the Nub 460, and I think their nomenclature comes from, it's a 4x60. So it's a short, fat cigar. And I really enjoyed it. And it was, since it was so short, it didn't take long to smoke. So a great cigar if you don't have a lot of time. And since it was so fat, it was a really good drawing cigar. And so I was really surprised by that. It was a little pricey for the size though, I think, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Mellow, smooth, a lot of coffee notes. Coffee and cream, some cedar, a little bit of, you know, fresh compost. By compost, I mean, it was good smelling compost. It wasn't like, spoiled manure or anything, but it was a very pleasant, short little smoke. Got pipe tobaccos over here. Oliva, very surprised by that one too. Really liked that. It was mild to medium. I think that is a African Cameroon wrapper. I could be wrong. It could be a Connecticut. But it was really smooth, white chocolate, coffee flavored. That's what I was picking up. Smoked another Arturo Fuente, Gran Reserva, another Churchill. If you're going to smoke a Churchill, you better book some times. You can sit there for a while. But boy, when you're through, just so relaxed. I really like Churchills if I've got time to really enjoy the whole thing. And again, it's a Connecticut and really, really still my favorite. Really smooth. And then, of course, Monte Cristo White. It's a pretty common cigar and very well made. This is a Dominican, another Connecticut shade. And kind of coffee, leathery, maybe it's finishing with some cocoa and cream. That is very nice. Smooth to medium body. This might be maybe my second favorite. I think the Arturo Fuente is going to be hard to beat. But so far, Monte Cristo. If anybody out there has any recommendations for cigar that I should try, let me know. I'm just getting into cigars. I've smoked quite a few, but I never really paid attention to them. It would just, I would go and I would buy a Monte Cristo and, I wouldn't really be with the cigar and kind of be in the moment and notice what I'm, experiencing. But now that I am, I'm really getting into just the little flavors and how much the wrapper affects the flavor of the cigar as much as the filler. So very, very fun hobby to get into if you do it in moderation. So everything in moderation. Let's take a look at my little humidor that I put together. This is a 9.6 cup Rubbermaid Brilliance container. Very well made. It's got a really good rubber seal on it. You can hear it pushing the air out. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. You have to watch for mold if you were to leave this closed for a long period of time. But if it's an active humidor, you're going to be in it, at least once a week. I smoke maybe one cigar a week, maybe two at most. And so I'm in here. It gets some air exchange when I'm in here. But these Boveda little humidity packets, this one's 65%. Keep this really well humidified. I've got a little remote humidor or humidity reader. I don't know what I don't know the word. I'm not good with words. But I put it in there and it was holding it steady. So I just took it out. No need to keep it in there. And it holds a lot of cigars. This holds 20 Robustos with plenty of room left over. These are just Drew Estate factory smokes. Connecticut shades. And these are surprisingly good. Less than $2 a piece. Maybe $1.50 a piece if you catch it on sale. And it's a good way to fill up a humidor for just kind of a yard gar, something you would smoke when you're mowing the yard. Everyday smoker, not that I smoke every day, but a good budget cigar that's doesn't taste too much like a budget cigar. And if you're thinking about getting into cigars, I think this is the way to go. I've got a wooden humidor that I've had for years, but that took too much maintenance. I was always filling the little, water thing, humidifier, and having to wet down the inside because it would really suck up a lot of water. This really keeps it steady humidity, constant. The humidity can't get out unless you open the container. The only downside is it doesn't breathe. So, but if you vent it every now and then, let the gases exchange. Gosh, I can't think of a better container for the price to keep your cigars in. And it's got a really good latch. I spent probably $15 on the container and maybe $15 on the little humidity packets. And that's all you need. And you can stack these, so you could have several of these. I like to have my everyday smokers in here, and then I like to go to cigar stores and try different, more premium cigars. I'm not going to buy a box of a premium cigar and put in here because I like to try different cigars. Okay, so that's my very quick Humidor tour and cigar journal tour. And I am finding that I like cutting my cigars. I've got a little guillotine cutter, but I really like just cutting it with a pocket knife and just taking the very end of the cap off and peeling that off. And that works as well as the guillotine cutter, maybe even better. It doesn't mash the cigar. So there's my cigar cutter, my preferred cigar cutter. And there you go. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.